Guys, it is finally here. Madden 22 is officially out on the EA Play free trial, and that means we can finally get in the lab and start finding all those cheesy, glitchy plays that are going to make our opponents rage quit. Now, of course, so much stuff is going to change over the course of the year, but right now, I want to show you guys what I think are the top 5 brand new plays that EA added to Madden 22. Let's get into it. Now guys, everything I show in this video will be on next gen Madden 22, but let me know in the comments below if in future videos you want me to also show these plays for current gen. I know the player base is kind of split between next gen and current gen, so if you guys want both next gen and current gen content, I will definitely give it to you guys. Now at number 5, guys, I'm in the 49ers playbook in a brand new formation called Gun Split Close Pro, and the play is going to be Niner Angle. Now on defense, I'm always going to call random play because I want to show you guys that this is going to work, and all these plays are going to work against any defense without me knowing in advance what it's going to be. Now, my only setup right here is to block the running back at RB, just to give us a little bit of extra time in the pocket, because these routes do take a few seconds to develop. But there's 3 routes in this play that I absolutely love. Our X receiver on the C route, our running back at Y on the deep angle route, and our B receiver on the inside zig route. So let's first look at the X receiver on the C route, and most of the time, he is going to win against man coverage out there. He's going to get underneath the defender. And honestly, unless there's a zone drop coming from the linebacker that's deep enough to cover the C route, it's a guaranteed completion every single time. It seems like C routes might be really good this year, and especially just with passing being so good in Madden 22 this year, even if there's a defender in the vicinity, as long as you get underneath. Now right there, it looks like the defender just stopped guarding us because that's just Madden 22, I guess. But that C route is excellent. Now the next route is going to be our running back on the deep angle route. Let me make sure I block my RB running back. And as you guys probably know, angle routes or Texas routes, they are incredible man-beating routes. And so if you see man coverage, it is almost guaranteed that you can throw it over the middle, as long as your opponent obviously is not using that route over the middle. But even if it's not, no, right there, I think we actually got, I saw the man coverage immediately. I just lobbed it because it doesn't matter who you're going against. It doesn't matter if your running back is not very good at route running. Ronald Jones is definitely not a route running type running back. You just need a little bit of speed, and you're going to separate on those angle routes. And so even if it's not man coverage, we've seen man coverage examples right here. Even if it's zone coverage, this angle route is deep enough that it seems to get over the linebackers underneath the safeties, compared to a normal Texas route where you're kind of hoping to get maybe underneath the linebackers. This angle route can get over the linebackers, which is pretty cool and pretty unique, and you really don't see that on too many plays. Now, right there, the D lineman snuck out and got me, so I wasn't expecting that one. Let's run it one more time, see if we can get a zone play to kind of show you where he can sneak in there. And maybe a user would have played it, but again, obviously just don't throw out a user and you'll be just fine. So that deep angle route, I absolutely love. And our third route on the play is our B receiver on the inside zig route. I recommend putting your best route runner there. I've got Chris Godwin with Slotomatic right there. I don't know if Slotomatic will activate from where he's at. We'll see if it lights up or not against man coverage. Looks like it didn't light up, but that's okay. And sometimes you're going to want to throw it right on the break. If it's man coverage, oftentimes he'll get great separation right on the break. If it's not man coverage, you just got to wait, find the opening in the zone. Now right there, unfortunately, even though we're blocking 6, they're coming in pretty fast. We probably had someone else open, but I'm just kind of getting tunnel vision on the B receiver in this case, just because I'm trying to show you guys some examples. But as you can see, that's a perfect example of throwing it right on the break. Obviously, there was no one guarding him, but if that was single man coverage, the timing would be exactly the same. And so there's just some really good routes just all over the field. And right there, I will say, if there's a defender close by, throw a low ball bullet pass to get the best results from this play. But guys, that was the play Niner Angle. I think it's an awesome, awesome play. That was number 5. Let's jump ahead to number 4. Now at number 4 is a play that I think has a very good chance of becoming very meta, and that's because it's in one of the formations that people were most excited about heading into Madden 22. So I'm in the New York Jets playbook. The formation is Gun Bunch Y Flex, and the play is going to be Speed Dig Out. Now in Madden 21, there's a play called Speed Dig, but it is different than Speed Dig Out, and I'll show you guys right now. As you might guess, the difference is an out route, and that out route is from the A receiver, and this out route's actually so good. gets under zones really well. It separates from man really well, especially if you have someone like Chris Godwin with the slot-o-matic ability, or you put someone with the route technician ability. If you have one of those guys in that spot, this route becomes almost unguardable. I'm telling you, even if it looks like there's a defender on him, just the way next-gen Madden 22 works, even if it's tight coverage, you can throw it in there, you can pass it to the outside, and you're completing it almost every single time. Again, right there in Madden 21 current gen, that route probably was not open, but in current gen, it's completely open. It's just, you have to change the way you see the field. Stuff is really open now. Passing is very, very strong this year, and I have a feeling that this play and that route to A is going to get spammed a lot. But let's say that route's covered because your opponent puts a hard flat there or something. You have some other really good routes as well. This deep crosser from RB is going to be an absolute nightmare to guard. You saw he just torched his man. It gets over zones as well. This RB route, crossers we hoped would maybe be nerfed this year, because last year crossers were such a nightmare, especially like the rollout crossers. But I tell you what, guys, crossers are still here. They're here to stay. Passing is here to stay. It just seems like it's going to be a year of lots of passing and not much defense, at least from what I'm seeing so far. But once again, here's the crosser against zone this time. And again, we can sneak in there against zone. That crossing route is so good. And then, of course, if both those routes are covered, you still have this really unique route from your B receiver over the middle. It's not open right there. The crosser was wide open. So if I was running this in a game, I would have just thrown to the crosser. But I'm going to try and complete one to the B receiver just so you guys can see it. I'm going to probably lowball it over the middle as I throw the bullet pass. And you guys can see that in terms of read progressions, obviously the RB receiver is kind of on the other side of the field. I would kind of read the coverage at the snap, and you might be able to tell just from what they're playing if the crosser's coming open. Otherwise, you can read A and you can read B. I was probably going to be throwing a pick right there, but I will say the pass rush is coming in pretty fast at practice mode. That's something I've noticed, at least on all Madden, which is what I'm playing on. The pass rush really does come in fast. Now, right there, cut it a little bit close to linebacker, but still snuck in there. I definitely recommend throwing a low ball bullet pass on that route to the B receiver. But guys, that is speed dig out at number 4. Let's jump ahead to number 3. Now at number 3, this type of play is not new to Madden, but it is a new formation that I think definitely takes advantage of this route more than any other formation. So we're in the 49ers playbook. It is gun tight Y off, and the play is going to be Redzone Scissors. And this route from the running back, I think, is one of the best routes in the entire game. So we'll call random defense, and right off the bat, you can see that we have a high-low on the right side between the running back and the tight end. And it's a pretty easy read usually. Don't be afraid to take the checkdowns like always, but a lot of times that running back is going to get over the zones and you have a nice 20-yard gain to the running back. Against man coverage, you can see the running back is going to torch his man pretty much every time. Linebackers have absolutely no chance at guarding it. And so just the high-low on the right side from the tight end running back is going to be really good. You can see if you have to, you take your check down, you get a free 5 yards. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, if both of those routes are covered, I like to come back and look at the 2 in routes from the X receiver and the Y receiver. The X receiver should get open almost always, even if it's just for a couple yards, because he breaks really quickly and he's breaking underneath the Y receiver. And so a lot of times, if you just need quick yards, you can hit that X receiver. And then obviously, if your opponent's user maybe comes up and guards the X receiver, you can look at Y deep over the middle. But the number 1 route on this play is absolutely going to be the running back, but you've got all kinds of great options underneath. I'm going to run it one more time. We're going to try and hit that running back. But this is just such a great route combo. And I think that the gun tight Y off setup, the kind of spacing of the receivers, just really takes advantage of this route more than anything else. It just feels like it just opens up the sidelines for this running back route more than any other route typically does. So once again, you guys saw we toasted the man coverage, and I just think that you guys will be seeing these running back scissors type plays throughout all of Madden 22. So that was number 3. Let's jump ahead to number 2. Now at number 2 is my favorite play that I've found so far, and I actually think this play is legitimately broken, so EA might be patching this in the next few weeks, and also this is a very big fumble risk, so please keep both those things in mind before running this play. But if you're up for the challenge anyway, I'm in the Washington playbook. The formation is a new formation, gun split slot open, and the play is going to be triple option left, which I'm actually going to flip so that we're running it to the right. And we're going to call random play on defense. And first, let me show you why this play is just straight up broken. And instead of doing normal triple option things when you hike the ball, you're just going to take off with Lamar. he makes no attempt at handing off to the running back. You can't run it like a triple option even if you wanted to, but you can get some free yards up the middle if that's what you're looking for. But we can do some pretty cool things with this play if we get, I don't know, a little glitchy, I guess you could say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hike the ball, take one step to the left with Lamar, turn around, and then pitch it out to my running back, and then we are off to the races for some huge gains. And it's not 100%. Like I said, this is a very risky play. You have a chance of fumbling on the pitch. You have a chance of getting tackled for like a 5 or 10 yard loss sometimes. But if you get that pitch off, now right there, so that's the risk. That's the risk right there, guys. But if you get the pitch off, it's usually going for a lot of yards. It's just risky enough that I just wanted to make all those disclaimers so that if you try to run it in a game and you fumble, you don't get mad at me. I'm showing you and telling you all the risks. But it's also a ton of fun. Now, usually, I will say, usually the pitch gets off a lot more than it gets knocked down. That's something I will say. This is a higher rate than normal of the pitch getting knocked down. But it's a ton of fun. It takes a little bit of practice. Definitely come into practice mode. Come give it a shot. But you can have an absolute blast with this. And we got pretty good gains on most of these runs. I'm going to run it one more time so you have another data point to judge whether or not you like this play. And we got the pitch off. We got the block. That's a big thing, is if the wide receiver sets his block, you can be gone. You see we got all the way down. We maybe got the reach for an animation. We might got a touchdown on it. But guys, that is number 2. Triple option left. Run it to the right. If you run to the left, it's not as good. So even though it's called triple option left, run it to the right. That was number 2. Let's jump ahead to number 1. Now at number 1, guys, I have a feeling that I'm going to run this play more than any other play in Madden 22. I ran this on stream earlier at twitch.tv/BruceGooseTV, and holy moly, we were like, this might be the best play we've ever seen. So right now, I'm in the Jacksonville Jaguars playbook. The formation is gun deuce close, and the play is RPO read flat wheel. And I think that this is my new RPO bubble wide pop. If you guys remember from last year, I was obsessed with RPO bubble wide pop. This is my new RPO bubble wide pop, and there's a lot happening on this play. So I'm going to simplify it a little bit for you guys. We are going to ignore the X receiver. We're going to ignore the B receiver. And personally, I like to ignore the Y tight end on that flat route. The only things I care about are the handoff to the running back, the quarterback keeper, and the RB tight end on the wheel route. Those are our 3 reads. And if you look at, that's basically the same structure as the RPO bubble wide pop last year, just with the wheel route going a little further outside, as opposed to on the bubble wide pop, he would kind of go up the middle. But it's a very similar structure to that play when you look through all the noise of the X receiver and the B receiver and the flat route from the tight end. So first off, just like on any read option, you need to read the read key, the defender with the R above his head. And if he commits to the running back, you can keep with the quarterback. If he plays conservative, you can hand off to the running back. So first, let's just run it like a read option, just like we always would. Let's look at the defender with the R above his head, and he comes in, so we keep with the quarterback, and we can take off. Now right there, obviously, the pitch key was there to clean us up. And so what we should be also looking at is what is happening with the tight end at RB. And what I'm noticing, guys, is more often than not, that route to the tight end is wide open. That is really what makes this play so insanely good, is the route to the tight end. It got to the point on stream where I started just throwing it without even thinking. I was not even reading anything else on the play, even though technically you should be reading the read key and the pitch key and everything else. I started just throwing it out to him, and he was just catching everything. Whether it was man coverage or zone coverage or whatever, everything was a completion. And so I was sitting here just like, this route is incredible. And then on plays where I wasn't throwing it to him, and I was keeping with Lamar, now right there, I tried to keep with Lamar just to show you guys an example. That's the one thing, is you can't telegraph, or you can't decide in advance what you're going to do, even though that's obviously what I'm trying to do right now. But the keep with Lamar is really good too when you actually read it properly, and you don't get stuck in like a passing stance for a second. You just take off instantly. It's so open. I could have thrown it sooner. I tried to run with Lamar again. I just had to throw it to the wheel route. The wheel route is open like every single time, guys. I'm telling you, you can just throw this wheel route basically blind, and it's wide open. So I almost was like, I shouldn't even show this play on YouTube. I should just hold on to this as long as I can. But I don't want to do that. I want to show you guys everything I find as I find it. But I feel like I've just shown you how to throw the wheel route. But let's try and get another good run with the quarterback real quick. But if you guys look, you can just take off so fast with the quarterback. And I really do think that with a little bit of practice, just like RPO bubble wide pop, this play could be absolutely incredible. Now, it's not perfect. And obviously, you know, when you, like I just keep saying it over and over, when you predetermine what you're doing, like I'm trying to do for the video, just because I want to show you guys the different components as I talk about it. If you predetermine it in advance, you are setting yourself up for failure. You have to always take what the defense gives you. And it just so happens, at least in practice mode, the wheel route is literally open every single time. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this, guys, but I have a good feeling that you will continue to see this play more from me on this channel as long as EA doesn't patch it. If they patch it, maybe it'll just die. But right now, this is what I think is the best play in Madden in terms of if you're trying to run an RPO offense or an off-meta offense. I think you absolutely need to build around this play, or at the very least, make sure your playbook has this play in it as a go-to play for when you need it, because it is just so insanely good. It's my #1, and I have a good feeling it's not going anywhere other than #1 anytime soon. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, I stream 3 nights a week over at twitch.tv/SpruceGooseTV, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget about my second channel called More Spruce Goose TV. It's where I upload all my craziest Madden games, and we'll have Madden 22 content over there very soon. That'll be linked in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. It makes a huge difference for the YouTube algorithm, and it would mean so much to me. But with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a great one, and I'll catch you in the next video.